All right, Yak Math videos. Here we are for the first video made for fall 2022. A lot of videos made in the past, very few made of late. So here we go. This is for college algebra. This is the end of your matrix game plan. This is for November the 10th, 2022, when I am going proctoring the AccuPlacer test. Really just for 5th hour. 2nd hour you should finish this. 7th hour you should finish this. Anyone gone on Thursday the 10th needs to watch this as well. So we are in the SAT section. We have done the previous ACT page together in class. If you missed that, then you need to try your best. We've done 14 up above. All right, so we are looking here at 15. At 15 on this page, you can find it. I believe in you. What is the set of all solutions to the equation square root of x plus 2 is equal to negative x? Folks, we just got to guess and check here. All right, again, we don't know anything about Chapter 6 yet. We're just finishing up Chapter 3. So there's only two possible solutions here. X can be -1 or x could be 2. So we're gonna check. We're gonna let x be -1. That means we're gonna plug -1 in for x here and here. That's what I did. Then the square root of -1 plus 2 is equal to the opposite, -1. It's -1 plus 2. That's the square root of 1. Does the square root of 1 equal 1? It does. So x equals -1 is an answer. Okay, so again, I don't know if my answer is A or it's B. It's definitely not C, and it's definitely not D. All right, so then I'm going to let x be 2. I'm going to plug 2 in for x right there and right there. So when I plug 2 in for x, when I plug 2 in for x, I get the square root of 2 plus 2 is equal to the opposite of 2. Square root of 2 plus 2 is 4. What's the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2. Does the square root of 4, which is 2, does that equal -2? Does it not equal -2? That's false. So x can't be 2. X is -1, but it can't be 2. That means the only correct answer is B. All right, 2nd hour, we've already done that question. So let's take a look here at number 10. So there's the graph. We've got a parabola there shown. If the graph crosses the y-axis at point 0k, what is the value of k? Okay, so it crosses the y-axis there. That's the y-intercept. That's when x is 0. So when x is 0. Guys, just plug 0 in for x. 0, 0. What remains? 12. That has to be 12. Okay? Take a look at 11. Look, now 11, you don't know this formula yet, and this is in Chapter 9. You guys talk about it in geometry, so it might be one that, we just don't know by the time of the ACT juniors. So if you're a sophomore, then you'll have this one down. You guys talk about conic sections a bunch in pre-calculus. So this is the standard form of a circle. This is its equation. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, where the center is h comma k, and r is the radius. So this is h, this is k. It's going to be x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared is equal to 2 squared. All right, what's 2 squared? It's 4. This is my equation, and that is A. It's just a formula. We know or we don't. Okay? Again, for a junior in college algebra, we're not expected to get all of them right. We can definitely get 2/3 of them right, though, or more. So if two triangles are similar, then that means their corresponding angles are equal and their sides are proportional. And basic trig, it's all about, you're talking about proportions, okay, ratios of sides. Okay, so that means the cosine of E is going to have the same value as cosine B, because angle E would be equal to angle B. So I don't really need to know anything about this triangle. I need to know that E corresponds with B. So if they want to know what cosine E is, that's the same thing as cosine B. All right? In terms of B, this is opposite, the opposite side. This is the adjacent side because it butts up to B. 13 also butts up to B, but 13 is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is directly across from the right angle. So basic trig is sine, cosine, and tangent. SOHCAHTOA means sine is the opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is the adjacent side over hypotenuse. And tangent ratio is opposite over adjacent. You want cosine of B. Cosine is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. Cosine of B is adjacent over hypotenuse. It's 12 over 13. It's a ratio. All right, SOHCAHTOA, folks. We talked about number 8. Number 8's got to be a free question because I don't give you the info. That was used on it's number 7. I cut that off from you on this document. That's a free question. Right. Free question. All right, take a look at number 9. Based on the equation above, what is the value of AX plus B? AX plus B, what? All right, so what are you going to do? Anything that's not AX and B, let's move it over to the right side. Add 6 to both sides, like we have there. We got 9AX plus 9B. I said AX and B is equal to 27. I can divide everything by 9, and I get AX plus B equals 3. That's what AX plus B equals. Again, you guys might have already done this question. Who knows? But here are the answers for everything after that one we started with. I'm going to say Lainey, all right, spent 15% of her 8-hour workday in meetings. How many minutes did she spend in meetings? There are 60 minutes in an hour. 8 times 60, 480 minutes. Multiply that by 15%. 15% is a decimal. Again, you guys need to show work on this or else we're not getting credit. All right, we are in the calculator section. The previous sections weren't calculators, so we should be mindful of that. 72. A software company is selling a new game in a standard edition and a collector's edition. The box for the standard edition has a volume of 20 cubic inches, and the box for the collector's edition has a volume of 30 cubic inches. The company receives an order for 75. So if S is the standard and C is the collector's edition, I know that S plus C equals 75. Well, that actually isn't beneficial at all. All those have subtraction. Okay, so I know it can't be this. It's not C or D, that's for sure. All right, but these aren't written great. All right, so the company receives, we've done that already, and the total volume is 1870. Okay, so for every standard copy, it takes up 20 cubic inches. For every collector's edition, it's 30 cubic inches. So 20S plus 30C is 1870. You guys did this in Chapter 3, Part 1. So it's that, and that can only be that one. Hey, process of elimination there. All right, folks, we are rolling. The line graphed in the XY plane below models the total cost in dollars for a cab ride Y in a certain city during non-peak hours based upon the number of miles traveled. All right. According to the graph, what is the cost for each additional mile traveled? It's all about the slope. So we start there. So it costs $3 to get in, and then up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. For every single mile, it costs $2. $2. Easy peasy. Never mind, this is what's going on. So people, you can either, 85 people purchase gas, and 25 of those 85 didn't buy beverage, 60, 85 did. There were 50 people that didn't purchase gas. 35 got a beverage, 15, I don't know, got food. They were a customer. So given, what's the probability that a gas station customer selected at random, so that's all 135 at play, on that day did not purchase gas? So 50 of the 135 didn't purchase gas. Folks, it's that easy. They're going to ask you probability questions, but they're not going to be that difficult. All right? You don't need to take my dual credit stats course to get these right. I believe we have 2 more pages. Washington High randomly selected freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior students for a survey about potential changes to next year's schedule. Of students selected for the survey, a quarter were freshmen and a third were sophomores. Half the remaining selected students were juniors. That means half the remaining selected students were also seniors. Half of what remains would be divvied up between juniors and seniors. All right? What remains is juniors and seniors. And if half of them are juniors, half of them are seniors. Okay? So let's first figure out what how many freshmen there were. So a quarter of the 336, again, this is the calculator section, you can use a calculator, are freshmen, that's 84. A third of 336, 112 were sophomores. Add them up, 196 were underclassmen. Subtract this from 336, 140 were upperclassmen. And half of them were juniors, so half of them were seniors. 70 were seniors. 70 juniors, 70 seniors. Okay. Plant A is 20 centimeters tall. Plant B is 12 centimeters tall. The ratio of the heights of A to B is equal to the ratio of the heights of C to D. So A to B is equal to C to D. 12 over 20 is equal to 54 over X. Cross multiply. 20X is equal to 648. X is 32.4. All right, folks, you got to get this question right. 3.1 miles is how many kilometers? Come on. Biologists found a new species of pale shrimp at the world's deepest undersea vent, the BB vent field. The vent is 3.1 miles below the surface, the sea surface. Approximately how many kilometers? So 1 kilometer is, this is exactly right, 0.6214 miles is equal to X kilometers over 3.1 miles. Cross multiply, divide 3.1 by 0.6214, and it's 5K. A lovely little distance, 5 kilometers. 13 is a nice little one for guess and check, all right? So cargo helicopter delivers only 100-pound packages and 120-pound packages. For each delivery trip, the helicopter must carry at least 10 packages, and the total weight can be, misread that. I misread that. I thought it said at least. It says at most. All right, so good, we're gonna check that right now. So the answer is 5. So here's why. I mean, go high here. So it's got to carry at least, what, 10 packages? All right, so if it does 6 of the 120s, it has to do 4 of the hundreds, right? But that's 1,120, so that's too much. So if it does 5 of the 120s and 5 of the 100s, that's going to give you 1,100, and it can carry at most 1,100, okay? So, and then like 5, that's the biggest choice right there. So it is 5, not 6. Make sure to read it. It clearly says at most 1,100 pounds. All right. Okay, so here's my volume formula right here, which is interesting because, oh, gosh darn it, I wasn't even reading this. Like, cool. We're going to disregard. I can't believe that I didn't even know on 10. Guys, you need to read. I was trying to get these answers way too quick. On 10, it clearly showed you the cup, and I just drew 2 different cups. All right, so we're gonna do 10 together. Anyway, this is the calculator section. The glass pictured above can hold a maximum of approximately 16 ounces. So what's the value of K? So that's the volume. You're gonna set that equal to 473. 473 is equal to 7 pi K cubed over 48. I would multiply both sides by 48. Then you get 22,704. Now this is where some students right here can have some issues. Okay, so you're going to do 22. The lighting's not great here. 22,704. First divide it by 7. And then divide it by, there's literally a pi button right here. Divide it by pi. Okay? So 10,032.42 is equal to K to the third. If 10 to the third's 1,000, then K's got to be just a little bit over 10. Okay, folks, I made a boo-boo on 10. You can see there's a little bit of a curvature to this cup. So if it's filled up at a constant rate, its height's gonna get quite high early on, and then look, the radius kind of expands here, right? So it's gonna fill up a little more slowly. It's gonna fill up a little bit more slowly. All right, so it's not A, and this means it has a certain height and you don't fill it up. All right, so it's gonna fill up, as time goes, it's gonna fill up pretty quickly. It's gonna fill up pretty quickly and then take some time to reach its final. Right, again, as time goes up, the height of the water. Okay, so as time moves on, the height of the water is it's gonna more slowly rise. All right, because the radius is bigger. So as the time goes up, so in the beginning, the height's gonna get up pretty quickly, right? It's going to reach a certain height pretty quickly. And then it's going to take a little bit more time for it to reach its maximum heights. So it's got to be C. All right. Got to be C. All right. So, there we go. Those are the answers. Folks, this game plan is due on Monday. This is Yak Math Videos, signing out.